Hello everybody and welcome to Paige Thoughts On, where I react to or review cartoons, TV shows or movies. My name is Paige or Plami, whichever you prefer to call me, and in this video I'm gonna be sharing my thoughts on a movie called Sphere. I actually watched this movie at this point a few months ago. I've been trying for the last 2 years to have a kind of a constant schedule in terms of watching movies because I find it so entertaining, but yeah, it has been quite hard if I gotta be honest. And I learned of this movie I think already 2 or 3 years ago when I first started somewhat constantly watching horror movies. And this is not exactly a horror movie. I'm not sure whether it was specifically a horror listed as a horror movie or whether it was sci-fi. I just know that I learned about this movie after I watched the horror movie Cube, which at some point I'm gonna share my thoughts on too. After I watched Cube, I went to Reddit threads and I saw it being listed together with another really cool movie, Triangle, which is genuinely a really good movie and you should also check it out. It's probably better than Sphere, and I definitely really want to talk about that one, but I don't know when it's gonna be. And for 3 movies named after a spherical after an object, geometrical object, they are so different from each other. Like Cube is a horror movie. Triangle, it's a psychological thriller slash sci-fi, I guess. The thriller elements are not really that present. It's more sci-fi than anything, but it's definitely worth a watch. It's a mindfuck of a movie, I'm telling you. Meanwhile, it did have some horror elements, but I think it was mainly a sci-fi movie more than anything. And I gotta say, with a name like Sphere and with like the premise of the movie that I read being that the American government has found a sphere at the bottom of the ocean, I had a totally different vision of what that sphere actually was. And don't worry, it's not a spoiler necessarily. I'm gonna try to not spoil the movie, or at least I'll try to spoil as little as possible because I don't want to summarize the movie and everything. It's just my thoughts on whatever I can come up with right now. I was under the impression that it was genuinely gonna be a giant sphere at the bottom of the ocean. But it actually wasn't. It actually was a golden sphere inside a spaceship. And I gotta say, the CGI on that one was pretty garbage. It was pretty obviously fake. It hasn't aged well, I gotta say. And this is an old movie, so I can't really blame it, hate on it too much because of that. But still, it could have been better, even by 90s standards, because I'm pretty sure that was a 90s movie. I feel like the beginning of the movie is a bit boring, especially the opening where we get the main character, who I don't know who's the actor of. Give me a second. Apparently the main character, apparently the lead actor is Dustin Hoffman. He's a decent actor. I think I've watched him in quite a lot of movies, but I feel like in the beginning, I don't know if it was just the movie or him, but I don't know, the beginning of the movie was kind of so boring that I couldn't stop thinking about how much this is just a movie and not really happening. Like, for some reason I couldn't really immerse myself into the movie. Although the second they went to the bottom of the ocean, that completely disappeared and I completely forgot that I was just watching a movie. So it's not a big thing, it's just the beginning, it's kind of weak in that regard. And one thing about this movie that I'm not sure, and through a lot of it, because it's kind of a mystery, you have to kind of guess about what exactly is going on. A lot of the time I'm not sure whether it's genuinely the movie trying to throw me a curveball or intentionally trying to show something of as weird or unusual, or whether that's just 90s acting. like I didn't know how much of it was just cheesy 90s acting and how much of it was genuinely intended to come off like that. So it was hard to kind of follow the movie a little bit because of that. Because the movie does try to trick you a little bit, and it says that one thing is happening, but then you find out that it's a completely different thing. And because of that, because of the acting, it just comes off weird. You don't know whether the person is genuinely acting weird or whether it's just how the character is. I don't know how exactly to explain it. But yeah, it's a mindfucking movie. Although once you understand, like once they reveal what exactly is happening, it explains everything. But I don't know, I gotta say it was more interesting before that reveal. Like, it doesn't really lower the quality of the movie that much, or honestly at all, but I just preferred the tension and fear and scariness, because it is a psychological thriller, before the reveal of what exactly was happening, because you weren't sure what was happening, who was good, who was bad. It was more interesting. It was like very similar to The Thing in that regard. You weren't sure what exactly was happening. Yeah, I don't want to reveal too much about it. And honestly, I didn't expect this movie to be the kind of movie to end with a message, and it kind of did. It's not really major message. It's kind of underwhelming, honestly, as far as messages come, but it was fine. I feel like the end of the movie is a bit underwhelming, because I feel like it's a bit anticlimactic. Actually, I think it's what I'm going for, because there's the build-up of from the beginning to about, I feel like three-fourths of the movie. There's kind of a build-up, and like with the whole mystery of a spaceship at the bottom of the ocean, which nobody knows where it came from. Apparently it might have been from the future or something. I don't remember what it was. As I said, I watched it at this point like 2 months ago, or 3 or 4 even. I think it was early January, if not even before that. There's a build-up of the mystery and what exactly is happening, how the spaceship ended up there, and what the sphere is. And then it reveals it, and it kind of like just completely goes down. I don't know, it just doesn't have a satisfying conclusion. I feel like this movie deserves a sequel. It deserves a much better sequel, because the movie apparently has been, when it was released in 1998, has received negative reviews. It might be just me not really being picky on movies, but I didn't find it that bad. I feel like ultimately it's kind of underwhelming, as I said. It's entertaining, I feel like. Like, you won't feel like you've wasted your time after watching it, but it could have been done much better, definitely. A lot of things could have been... like, I feel like with the concept of it, you could have done more. Especially once you learn what the concept is, you understand what I mean. And honestly, with the way the movie ends, I feel like in a certain way it was setting up a sequel, because at the end, I don't know if I want to spoil it, but the sphere leaves, and you kind of understand where the sphere came from. But again, I don't know, it feels like it leaves so many things unresolved. Where the spaceship came from exactly, how it came there, where the sphere came from, how does it do what it does. Like, there's a lot of things that are left unexplained, and honestly genuinely deserves a sequel that either goes into some of the time travel things, or just explaining just another event related to the sphere should happen. I don't know, but it would be cool to see. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this movie. I feel like it was an interesting sci-fi movie. I liked it. It's not exactly what I thought it was going to be, because as I said, I thought it was going to be giant sphere at the bottom of the ocean, and I thought it was going to end up something similar to Cube or something like that. But it was completely different. It was more, as I said, it was a spaceship with a sphere in it, not just a sphere at the bottom of the ocean. I don't know. But I think it was an enjoyable movie, although you could have done much more with it, with the concept. I think ultimately I'm gonna give this movie a 6.8 out of 10, but it's definitely worth a watch. Like, you won't feel disappointed. Well, I feel like you might feel disappointed, but you won't feel like you've wasted your time, as I said. And a lot of the time I feel like people don't give movies in the realm of 6 out of 10 a chance, because there was a movie, I don't remember what it was called. I think it was called Time Lapse, which is another really cool kind of time travel movie that on IMDb it has 6.4, and while in a certain sense I agree with it being 6.4, I don't know, like, I feel like a lot of the times people see, oh, it's not a 7 or an 8, fuck that movie, when I still enjoy the movie. I'm still satisfied by the fact that I watched it. So definitely, if you're interested into sci-fi, definitely check this movie out. It's really cool, and especially if you are into horror and sci-fi, because I am pretty much into both. I'd say almost equally. I mean, my favorite two TV shows are a horror one with The Walking Dead and a sci-fi one, Doctor Who. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe. Also check out the list in the description to my Twitter if you want to follow me there, and to my Wattpad where I post my stories, because in addition to doing so yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe. Also check out the list in the description to my Twitter if you want to follow me there, to my other channels in which I post completely different content from this, like my gaming channel, my K-pop channel, or my Yu-Gi-Oh! /anime channel. You can also check out my Wattpad where I post my stories, because in addition to doing all these videos on all my channels, I'm also a writer. And if you do end up enjoying all my stories, or you simply enjoy all my videos, you can head over to Patreon or Subscribestar, where you can pledge support and help keep all the channels going and help support me so I can keep writing all the stories. And additionally, I just want to mention that all the money you decide to support me with are going to go towards my transition fund, because if you're new to the channel, which you most likely are, or you simply haven't noticed by this point, I'm actually transgender, but I haven't been able to transition because I live in a transphobic, or you could say homophobic country, and because I can't afford it. So if you could help me out with that, that would be greatly appreciated. I will probably never be able to repay you, but there are some rewards over on Patreon and Subscribestar, so definitely check them out. But I don't want to guilt trip you into helping me out, so if you don't want to do it, that's completely fine. You can still help me out by liking this video, subscribing, and especially sharing this video with somebody who you think might enjoy it. And I think that's pretty much it for this video, so hopefully I'm gonna see you in the next one. Bye!